part 2 of attempting to fix the UK's cheapest e-bike. If you saw in the last video, I had a nightmare. I actually regressed rather than progressed. I thought I was making some good progression, and then all of a sudden the bike just didn't want to turn on again. Once I posted that video, the video did absolutely amazing, by the way, so I can't thank everyone enough for watching it. So I think we're at over 10,000 views now, so I just want to say thank you for that before I get any further into the video. But a lot of you in the comments were telling me, get a multimeter, and all my friends were telling me to get a multimeter. So I think that is going to be the priority for today, because we aren't seeing any power. And also, I sold the other bike that I was using the parts of, so we don't have that anymore. We don't have the same model. All that we do have is, I'll show you, we have a 2.1 model, which is also hopefully gonna sell, but hopefully not, because I can use sort of parts of it, especially the battery. The battery is the main component that I'm needing to use. So like I said, a lot of you were telling me to buy a multimeter, so I think that's the first job. I'm gonna take the bike up to my friend's house. He's got a multimeter, and we're gonna just see if we can actually take this step by step and make some more progression, rather than just throwing tools at the thing and not getting anywhere, because I think that's what I was doing last time and it got me stressed out. Let's get up to Mitchy D's and see what we can do. Mum, what do you think about the video getting 10,000 views?
Unbelievable.
Look,
amazing. Well done.
Mansion coming soon, innit?
Yep, good.
And
can't wait.
And
I just don't need an expensive car.
Oh.
Just one that, you know, 4 wheels.
Just one that works.
Yeah.
Well, I've got main man here to check bike out, so I'm just gonna leave it with him, and then we'll see if he can fix it while I'm here. But it's getting dark. Where's that light that you've got? That?
Yeah, let me see if I can put it on. I don't know how bright it is.
Yeah, that's right bright, that. Yeah, that's right bright, that. That's proper work, that.
Not actually one that exists.
Any look?
No,
I did look it up, and the guy in group said that.
Is this a Vengeance E?
Yeah, there's that back wheel on.
Where's the disconnection for motor there?
Shows the log one. I should have brought my torch actually. Okay.
Have you not got one?
Pull it.
Pull it apart, yeah?
Pull it apart. Yeah, pull it. Pull it. No, you're good.
Need like a little working station.
You need just like a working station or something. That's not showing that it's actually connected to anything.
Right, okay, let me just see whether it's actually pulling all that. 36 volt, 8.7 amp. Usually lithium ions have like a temperature circuit built in to make sure they don't overheat. So that's what I presume all them different pins are there.
Can't you just test it through the fucking thing?
No.
Oh.
Like that. Yeah, I'll do it that way.
Yeah, but that battery works.
How do you know?
Because it's from my other bike.
Oh, so the battery's alright?
Yeah, the battery's fine.
Why am I testing battery then?
I don't know. I didn't know why you were doing that. Why were you doing that? That is so stupid. Right.
Do you get any error codes or anything?
No,
like
I did, but the error codes were irrelevant to that. You don't get any power to anything. That's spit, that.
Is that spit?
I'm sure you've just spat.
I ain't spat there.
Oh, I ain't done that. Sure, that were you, mate.
Yeah.
But don't you want to check that it's actually put? The battery's fine.
Here's my multimeter then. I see what you're saying.
But sometimes people have had problems
where the battery isn't powering the controller, yeah?
Where they're not getting the power stops at the battery, but this you need power to go through here, don't you? So don't you want to check the wires that come from the seating to the controller, if the power actually does even get there? Yeah, I've changed this bottom part.
There's no wrong with that.
So it will pulling power through then?
The battery was outputting, yeah, so the controller's been powered as it needs to be.
Just snip it and strip it. See what you're doing, bro.
Can't see me saying what I'm doing.
Sorry, bro. Smart guy.
I'm not a smart guy. I really don't know whether this is going to work.
Well, people in comments will tell you after, won't they?
Make sure that doesn't touch out. That is my connection to 0 volts to the battery, and that is one of the phases to the motor there. Can you undo them, did you say?
You can, but you need to get, yeah.
If you go to pedal it in a minute or make it start, I don't know how you would do it.
You only turn it on. Yeah, but you don't see any light to screen or not, bro.
Yeah, I know, but the screen might just be the screen that's broke. That's why I want to see whether the motor gets any power.
Shall I turn battery on?
Yeah, turn it on. I'll see whether the motor gets any power.
Right, boys, so if you've just watched all of this where Mitchell is helping me figure out why the bike isn't getting power and you are still confused, don't worry, because even me watching this bike, I'm confused. The reason I think we're running into more and more problems and more confusion is because I just didn't communicate properly what the issue was with the bike, because I didn't even know. So it wasn't any fault of mine and it wasn't any fault of Mitchell's. He was just doing everything he could to try and help me figure out why the bike wasn't getting any power at all. So this is why we've got to this point. I can't really tell you what Mitchell's doing. I think if you know about using a multimeter, you'll have more of an understanding than I do. But what we learned from this is that the battery was powering the controller, but then that power wasn't going anywhere else, which actually did help me out a little bit, because it showed that there wasn't just one specific thing that wasn't getting power, like the screen. It wasn't just like the screen was randomly broken. It's that there was actually a problem inside the controller, which I didn't understand yet, and it was all confusing to me because, as you'll see later on in the video, I did genuinely get unlucky with what happened, and it couldn't have really been predicted. And for someone with a little experience with e-bikes, it was definitely very difficult to wrap my head around and understand. So the key takeaway from that is that both of these controllers, the two that I had here with me spare, are both doing the same thing. They are both receiving power from the battery. However, they are not giving that power to anything else because something is telling them no.
Look out the window and see me yeeting up bin like this.
Right, lads, it's a new day and we've still not seen any progress with the Nightmare Carrera Vengeance. At this point, I don't really know what to do, to be honest. This is why this video is probably taking longer than it should to come out, because I'm just in this sort of mindset where I want to figure out what exactly the problem is for you lot, and I also want to get it fixed, but I also don't want to go spending money, and I'm also not completely technical minded to be able to know what exactly the problem is. But when I've been speaking to my friends, I've been speaking to loads of different people, to be honest with you, about how I can go about fixing this problem. I've made some phone calls, I've spoke to some people, and I've got some advice. So we've got a little bit of a plan, boys. We've got a little bit of a plan. Spoke to my friend Mitch. As you saw when we had the multimeter and we were testing stuff, we found that the battery, it was getting power through here and it was getting power to the controller, but that power wasn't going anywhere else. So to anyone it would say that the controller's knackered, but to me, I was in a confused state of mind because I didn't know what controller this was. But after thinking about it, when I bought these two bikes, I must have taken the controller off of this bike. A working controller, by the way. I must have taken it off this bike because this bike wasn't as good condition as the other one. And I swapped it for the other one because that one had broke and I wanted that bike to be fixed first because it was the best condition. Then I was left with two controllers. One that I was keeping as a spare from a long time ago, and the broken one. So that's where we found ourselves. I think that's where we are, that's where we're at. I was umming and ahhing about, do I just buy another controller? But I don't want to start throwing parts at the bike. That's the last thing that I want to do, to be honest. I don't want to spend too much money. I don't want to throw loads of parts at the bike. I've sold the other bike now, so I don't have a donor bike. Even then, thinking about it now, I think I did put that controller, oh mate, I'm gonna get stressed out again and I need to just chill out. So what I've done is I've phoned a friend who has the same bike, a Carrera Vengeance E-Spec 2.0, and I've asked him to borrow it. But this is a risk for me, because if I borrow it and start taking parts off of his bike to test my bike and something goes wrong, I'm gonna have to have another bike to fix, which I can't really afford to be doing. Anyhow, I think that's the only option we are left with. So after much talking and convincing, I'm on my way to go and pick up his bike to try and diagnose this problem once and for all. We are going to fix this problem once and for all. Let's do it, boys. That didn't sound good.
Let it ride. Yeah.
Oh, boys, let me take the out so I don't look like I'm robbing the place. I look even worse now, but it's freezing, lad. It's absolutely freezing. Fuck, I hate it when it's cold, man. I hate the cold. I were never made to be in the cold. Anyways, we've acquired the bike. It's a nice bike, this. I might keep it for myself. Look at these brakes. Wow, they're expensive brakes. But I've just ran into another problem. Obviously, as you know, I'm fucking Cohen and I just have problems left, right and centre. As you know, if you know me, because you'll probably know if you know me. I have problems left, right and centre. So when I acquired this bike, I said, can I use your bike just to check some parts off from my bike and use them on your bike and plug them in, because I know your bike's got a working controller, to see which part works or don't work. I wanted to test the screen, basically. I wanted to use this bike, to test parts from this bike to see if I could diagnose what the issue was. Might just be the controller, but we're not getting no power anyways. So I brought it home, but then I've realised, well, I knew it didn't come with a battery, but then when I've got it home, I've realised that even if I put a battery on it, guess what? I can't take the battery off it, because you need a fucking key. Oh. You need a key. I don't have the key with the same code, unfortunately. It would have been very lucky if I did. I have got to basically just take the controller off of that bike, try it on that bike, and hope we get some life. Because the problem that we've been having when we checked is when Mitch used his multimeter, we found that power was getting from the battery to the controller, into the controller, but power was going nowhere else from the controller outwards. I'm hoping I don't break another controller. And some of you might be watching this thinking, oh my God, you could just do this. And I wish I could just speak to you right this second, but I can't do that. So I'm going to take apart my friend's bike. He's probably watching this, so I go and say, hey, oh God. Hopefully I don't break it. And hopefully we see some life in the other bike. And if we don't, boys, honestly, I don't really know where to go from there. But I'm trying to stay optimistic. I'm trying my best. And hopefully we see some results. So, plan of attack. Controller from working bike. Take off controller and install controller into broken bike. This controller, I have no idea what even this is. Yeah. And hopefully we can get some life. What are you opening window for? Look, she don't want to talk to me, look. Mom! Mother! No, she's not answering me. First things first, I am going to take this off of here. I'm optimistic today. It's actually a new year, believe it or not. This controller is off and I'm going to make a note of the part number as well. I'm going to keep it there. Let's get the other one off. I'm going to skip because you don't need to see it because you've already seen me take one off already. So one thing that I've noticed straight away is the look of these controllers is completely different, but the part number is the same. So I'm not, maybe they just ran out of the black stuff. If we look over here, you know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying now. Yeah, you understand, like, why is that like that? Made sure to put this as broken. I don't actually know, well, it must be broken, just so that we've got some difference, you know, we can tell the difference between the two. But nah, clearly we can tell the difference because that's bright green and that's what I'm like, you know what I'm saying? But this is the moment of truth, boys. I'm going to take this off now, I'm going to put it on there, and hopefully we see some signs of life. Let's just get this done, stop wasting time, and just hope it works. Fingers crossed. For some reason I am feeling a little bit optimistic though. Maybe because it's a new year. Maybe that's what it is. Ugh. The controller is off. This is our shot at freedom, boys. This controller. If it doesn't work, my engineer friend Mitchell said if it doesn't work this time, then something is shorting it out. There's something else that's wrong, that's basically saying fuck you to the rest of the bike, saying I don't want to work. Maybe that's the torque sensor. Maybe that's the torque sensor. Maybe that's the torque sensor, as we found out in the last video. But who knows? Who actually knows? There's only one way to find out though. Let's get to it. I know you want to see action, boys. I'm gonna plug in the battery wires first. After I plug in the battery wires, I am gonna plug in the display wire, because when I was speaking to Mitchell, he said if you have the battery plugged in and it gets power to controller, you can then have the display plugged in and the display will turn on and shut it. Hopefully it will just turn on and give you these error codes because nothing else will be plugged in. I'm getting a bit anxious here. I'm getting a bit like excited. So now that's plugged in, do I plug everything else in? I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't want to fuck all up. Moment of truth. This is just feels like what I was doing over there though, to be fair with you. That is in. Oh. We're on. We're fucking on. Yo, we're on. It was the controller, bro. It was the controller the whole fucking time. I had two broke. I was using two broken controllers. That's what it was. That's what it was. I thought, no, what are the chances? It can't be. It can't be two broken controllers. That's two. Bro, the chance of that happening is two fucking... Yes. Get it. Go on, Mitch. Go on, Sidney. Go on, fucking Stuart. Everyone that helped me. The screen works. The battery works. That works. The controller's working now. Right. We've made some fucking progress. Finally. Finally. Fucking miserable. Right, keep your cool, Colin, man. It's not fucking fixed yet. Keep your cool. Calm down. I'm a bad man. I'm still a bad man. Right, let's plug rester it in. Let's see. It's coming up with an error 21. I didn't think about the error yet, but because I was just so excited that the bike actually turned on. Yes, yes. I'll put fireworks on screen. Pew, pew, pew. Do I plug the battery out to plug these back in? Do we plug everything back in because we know we've got power and we know it works, or would that be stupid to do? What I'm gonna do is, I must admit, I've got a bit of a problem with this torque sensor. I think that, for some reason, just in my heart, it's worrying me. The torque sensor's worrying me, so I'm not gonna plug that in yet. I'm gonna wait till the end. Gonna give us an error code for a torque sensor. I'm gonna plug it in and see if we have any problems, because I have looked at the torque sensor, which I haven't shown you, and the torque sensor does have a crack in it. It has got a bit of damage. Bit of damage there, as you can see, but I'm hoping it's not gonna cause so much problems. Bro, I hate when it's cold, man. If I turn it on now, we should get an error for the torque sensor. Error 21. Right, let's look up what an error 21 is, lads. Let's ask Jack PPP. What is the error code number 21 for a Carrera Vengeance E-Spec 2.0 mountain bike? No,
Error code 21 on the Carrera Vengeance E-Spec 2.0 usually points to a torque sensor issue. The torque sensor located near the bottom bracket.
So, it is the torque sensor that's coming up with the issue. So now, what we shall do is plug that torque sensor in. Hopefully we see no more problems. If we do, we know that we need to, well, anyways, I'm getting too ahead of myself because I'm so excited. I just want to see the bike work. Bike is here. We have error code 21. Now, let's plug the torque sensor in. Oh, it is the torque sensor. It's just turned the fucking thing off. It has turned the thing off when I plugged the torque sensor in. Oh my god. I hope I've not fucked that up. It was that. Don't tell me I've fucked the fucking god. At this point, I was convinced that this torque sensor had blown the controller and that was what had happened to the previous two controllers. And now I'm losing hope because it feels like every time I take a step forward, something makes me step back. No way. You are fucking having a laugh. No, 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 bro. No, no. Please, no. Which was until this happened. Right, we're back on. Oh, mate. Yo, we're about to rip my hair out, bro. Let me ring my boy. Come on, Mitch, answer me. No, please.
Sorted it. No, put that other controller on it.
Put the other controller on it, bro.
Blown it.
No, no, no. And I plugged it in, and I plugged it from the battery to the controller, and from the controller to the torque sensor, as you told me, and it turned on.
Right.
Got an error code 21. That was just the one that it pulled up straight away, but nothing else was plugged in. So I thought, I'm gonna plug everything else in, but I literally said to the camera, it's on camera, I went, I've got a weird feeling about this torque sensor, so I'm not plugging the torque sensor in yet. I'm gonna plug everything else in and see if it still comes back with the torque sensor fault. And then after that, if it still stays on after everything's plugged in, then I'll plug the torque sensor in. Well, I did that, plugged the torque sensor in, it turned it off. It turned the bike off. It wouldn't turn back on. So I had to plug the torque sensor back out and it wouldn't turn the bike back on. I thought, fuck, the computer's gonna get the EC. I've blown it, I've done it. So I'm gonna have to buy him one. Took it all off, reset it. I took battery off, put battery off on. It's turned back on. But it's when you plug the torque sensor in that it turns it off. Why the fuck is that happening? Why would that happen?
It's obviously knackered, isn't it? I don't know. You need a new controller and probably another torque sensor.
And a screen as well.
Do you know what you could do, right? Have you got his bike there?
Yeah.
Plug everything in on your bike and plug his torque sensor in.
I can't use his bike because I haven't got his key to take battery off. That's why I've done it this way. I was gonna plug my stuff into his bike one by one until I figured out what it was. But I didn't have the key to take battery off, so I can't plug a battery onto his bike. I can like try and plug it in while it's next to each other.
And plug his torque sensor in and see whether you get any fault codes. If you don't, you just know that you need a new torque sensor and obviously a new controller.
Yeah, that's a good idea actually. I know we've actually got life, bro.
We've got progress.
Mitchell says, why don't you try and plug the torque sensor in now while it's on the other bike and see if you get anything, see if you get a fault code come up. So that's what I'm gonna try and do now. Actually thinking about it, boys, I've realised that it might not be the controllers that are broke if I am plugging the torque sensor in as well, and that's shorting everything out for whatever reason. I don't know. You might be watching this and thinking, oh yeah, that could possibly happen, but you might be watching it and thinking, no, that can't happen. But when I plugged the torque sensor in, it turned everything off. It stopped everything from working. I had to fully take the battery off and everything and reset it. So I'm thinking that one of these controllers might actually work. It might just be the torque sensor. It might be just what the fucking the internet said at the start of these videos, the torque sensor that I brushed over, which you saw me brush over at the start of the fucking videos, but I just didn't understand. But now I know. I'm gonna try and plug this torque sensor into this bike and see if we can turn the bike on, but I need to get it really close. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get it that close, to be honest. I'm gonna need to crawl on the floor like a little tramp on, like a little tramp. I bet there's all piss down here. I bet there's dog piss and everything. You gotta do what you gotta do. Torque sensor is there. Dancing in the moonlight, everybody's feeling warm. I've lost it. Can it reach? Yeah. Oops. Oh, we're in. Moment of flipping truth. We're on. What the fucking torque sensor? Oh, what a joker. It was the torque sensor. 450 mile, Kurt. Bro. Get on, lad. Bro, we've actually made some progress. Oh my god. Mitch, you were right, bro. You were right. That was a good idea. Very good idea. So, now we know that we need a torque sensor. Whew. We need a torque sensor. I'm going to actually try... Do I try the controller? The dreaded controller. If I remember correctly, this controller came off the bike that I bought with this bike that you saw in the first video. And the display didn't work. I'm going to swap the controllers. It worked. Boys, we've made progress. Mum, we've finally made progress. Made some progress. Look, we're working. We're on, look. It's working, look. Can you see it? It's on, look. Can you see it? It's working, look. It's working, look. Can you see? Working, look. Working, look. Can you see? Face bothered. She's not bothered. Are you bothered?
I am bothered. I am bothered.
She's bothered, look. We've made progress. Bothered. Face bothered. Ain't bothered.
What? You said it was?
Yeah, I said it was because I knew what it was all along. Our lass ringing me. Alright, darling. How's it going? Oh, I'm right good, me. I'm absolutely amazing. We've made some progress, finally. Feeling happy. Yeah, I'm being serious.
Oh, good.
But yeah. Why is that what you want to tell me? You're pregnant? Oh, good. I mean, no. Yeah. Oh, so now that we know that the torque sensor's got an issue, I want to make sure that I don't need to spend as much money as possible. So since the screen works, but it needs, I know it looks a mess with the zip ties around it, but a bit of tiger seal on back can't go wrong, can it? Surely I can put a bit of tiger seal on it, you won't know any different. You know what I mean? Just put it in right spot. I might do that, because buying a whole new screen for the sake of a clip, to me, someone who's not really got much money, does not make much sense to me. The same thing goes for the controller. So I know this has been a bit of an headache for me, but it's been worth it, an absolute headache that were worth it. I want to see if I can get away with one of the controllers that I have, knowing what we know now, that it was the torque sensor that was turning the bike off, and I don't know why. If someone could tell me why that was happening in the comments, please tell me. But now we know that that was the issue that we were having. I want to see if I plug a different controller in and do the same thing now with a controller that we've already got, will I be able to get away with using one of these controllers? Because they might not actually be broken. That's what I'm thinking. Just gonna put a new controller in. I might have to try them both, because we might actually find that the controllers work. It was just the case of the friggin' torque sensor just making everything shit its pants. I'm gonna have a sip of my coffee. I think you've seen me plugging in enough controllers on this channel already, and this is only the second video, so I'll plug it in and I'll tell you what results we get. Love you, bye. I haven't done the controllers yet. It's been like literally 10 seconds since the last video. As you can see, this clip is broken, as I've just said. However, also this is actually broken, so it works, but it doesn't work properly to go through modes. So if you look, I can go up modes, but to go down mode you have to click it in a really weird spot. Not working properly anyways. But when you put it on walk mode, it works. The motor works. I haven't actually put any power into it to see if it carries me, but that'll be coming soon. That'll be coming. So controller time. I'm waff. Put this in and see if this controller works. I don't think this controller works. I'm not going to worry too much. I'm going to put the other one in, see if that does anything. Hopefully I've not fucked it up. Second controller. Let's try this. It seems like both the controllers are unfortunately dead. So now both of them have decided not to work. I'm going to plug the other one back in to just ensure that my theory is correct. Fingers crossed that I haven't just fucking broke it again and gone back in. Well, that's in. I've done something wrong because that's not working now. What have I done? What have I actually done? I'm worrying a bit now because it's happened again. Oh, right. When I plug one of these controllers in, this is what we've just got. When I plug one of these controllers in, what must be happening is it's shorting something out to the battery. So then something's just not happening with the battery. But then when I take the battery off, the battery's still in this, it must be still in this mode that needs to be reset. So when I've just plugged the controller and put another one on and it didn't work again, it's because something's happening when the controller gets to that battery and something's shorting out, or fucking the battery up and telling the battery to fuck off. So that when you plug it out and put another battery on, you've not reset the battery. The battery needs to be reset. You need to take it off, press the button, and it goes and then bam bam. Because now we're on. Because I took the battery off and pressed the button and it reset. So let's do that again. Hopefully not to break anything, but now we know that we still get power through. I'm not going to use the one that it first happened with. That must be the one that's messing it up. So I'm going to not put that one on first. And I'm going to get this one. Maybe, yeah, maybe they are both have an electrical fault. I can't imagine. Let's just do this one time to reset the battery. Broken. We'll try it once more. One of them, the screen wasn't working and it was because of the controller. Maybe both of them are just broke, which is fine. It's fine. I just want to be completely sure. Yeah, that's I'm sticking with it. Both the controllers are broke. I got very unlucky that you just weren't seeing any life from the controller. So now we try this one again. Put this one back on just to double check. Yeah, we're on. Right, we know now. We know. We have not solved it, but we've diagnosed it, which I'm extremely happy about. Coffee's probably gone cold. Extremely happy. GoPro's gonna run out of charge. So the plan of action now is part number from this, the one that works, order a like for like controller. And I also need to get this torque sensor off, which you might be able to do from here. Get the torque sensor off, find the part number for that, figure out if it's a 6-pin or a 4-pin. I think there's two, 6-pin or 4-pin. Source one of them. We've made progress. We've made progress finally, and it's going dark again. But now we know what needs ordering. Now we know what needs fixing. This will probably cost me around £120, I'd guess. Oh, no, actually, it's going to cost me £120 for the parts, and then I need to buy a battery, and I need to buy a charger. So it's going to cost me probably £200. At the very least. But my friend did say that he'd let me have his charger and his battery while I sold the bike, and then I can buy him another one. But that's not what this is about. This is about fixing the bike, boys. So we found out what the problem is. I don't know why that torque sensor is doing that. So if you could tell me in the comments, why would the torque sensor be just shutting everything down? Because that's what it seems to be doing, even with the new controller. Now both of them controllers are finished. So yeah, that's where we're at. Order the parts, get the parts, and fit the parts and fix the bike. If I don't see you again, thank you for watching. I'm very glad that we could make some progress, and I appreciate all the views, all the comments that I had. All of them were positive comments, which I'm really glad I did something right. I'm glad you enjoyed watching me struggle. Same with this one, you've watched me struggle a little bit. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to getting this bike fixed and see what I'm going to do with it after that. Thank you everyone. I'm going to get these parts ordered. You'll see me fix this bike in the next video. Thank you for watching, lads. I really appreciate you. See you in a bit.